This pier gets a lot of big spot fin croakers, sometimes 8, 9, 10, 11 pounds. So it's a really heavily visited area during high tide. Right now it's pretty much high tide or just after high tide. So a lot of these guys are seeking out the croakers. Most of them will be using fresh mussels. Some of them may have other bait, but we're going to go down, hopefully interview a couple of the croaker fishermen while we're here.
Don't drop it overboard.
That's a black croaker.
Yeah.
That's a black croaker. They're more common at night than during the day. And here's a spot fin croaker, and it's in. Sometimes they have this golden tinge. They call them golden croakers when they're like this, but it's a spot fin croaker, and they don't always have that color gold on them. Normally it's just white and more white and gray.
And he's always using ghost shrimp. He's being caught with the ghost shrimp.
Nice spot fin croaker. Yep, and another spot fin croaker. And you can see why they're called spot fin croakers. And I don't know if you can get that on the film, but they're making the croaking noise. That's why another name for one of their scientific name is roncador.
James.
James.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
Ken Jones.
Nice to meet you, Ken.
We're down here filming a YouTube video for my website, pierfishing.com.
Cool.
And I've fished this pier since 1966. I've been here a few times, but I don't live locally, so I'm, once or twice a year I'm down here fishing. But Bill said you're out here almost every day.
Just about every
So
day.
you know what's going on, and he said he gives me a monthly report,
Yeah.
and he said sometimes he asks you to find out what's going on out here for his report.
Yeah.
So you're out here enough to know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll see when there's stuff going off the sharks when they're coming in, or when you see the bait fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Just try and keep my eyes on it.
Okay.
So
I hear you're a fly fisherman on the beach.
I am. Yeah.
You're going for the barred surf perch and
Yeah.
corbina maybe.
I'd love to get a corbina. Never had one
Oh,
yet. I'd
okay.
love to. Targeted them, but never had one.
Okay.
But yeah, mostly perch.
Mostly perch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few rays here and there.
Oh really?
Not intentionally.
Rays on a fly. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was up at San Simeon one time and they were having a fly fishing class. So guys are stationed every, 50 yards along the beach, and the guy was teaching them how to fly fish on the beach up there.
Yeah.
So I've never done it, but it looked like a lot of fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
What would you say is the biggest fish you've seen out here maybe?
Oh, the biggest was probably Bill, that thresher shark that time.
Yeah, that was a monster.
5 feet maybe.
Yeah, 7. He had to be 7 foot easy.
Yeah.
That's by far the biggest I've seen being brought up. That sea bass though that circles around.
Oh,
He's giant.
We were just talking about the black sea
giant
bass.
sea bass,
Hey,
yeah.
and they come down the ladder and they unhook them over here on the. Yeah, they're big.
So
big
they
fish.
hook a giant sea bass. When it gets to the top, it kind of floats, I guess, normally. So they actually haul it around the end of the pier
Yeah, to the ladder.
to where the ladder is, and then they climb down the ladder
Yeah.
and release it.
So there's the ladder right over there where that gentleman see right, and you can see the ladder going down.
Right in the corner there. Yeah.
And they'll unhook them
Wow, that's
or clip the line as close as they can instead of leaving it.
no, that's amazing. And I like to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
People are
Being responsible.
conservation minded,
Yeah.
And I've heard actually they do the same thing sometimes. The great white sharks they hook out here because they're illegal also.
Yeah.
That would be a little bit more scary for me.
Yeah, right? You'd have to be pretty brave to go down on that.
But they do that, right?
Oh yeah.
They just climb down the ladder and then they
Yeah.
probably
Or
Kinda
like I
as
said,
close as they can.
yeah,
Right.
You know, a white shark's a little different. You might want to leave a a little bit of leader there.
No, I would
but-
leave at least, definitely leave a few feet.
Sure.
What kind of, I'll ask you, what kind of problems do you run into out here?
As far as fishermen or just in general?
Yeah, in general, I know we used to have an organization, United Pier and Shore Anglers. We really tried to talk a lot about ethical angling, following the laws, all that kind of thing. But also, we always told people leave the pier cleaner than when you got there.
Yeah.
Pick up your trash, pick up any monofilament line because you don't want the birds getting it. So I imagine you see some of that kind of stuff.
You know what? To me, it seems like most of the fishermen are really pretty good about that.
Good.
The ones, other people coming up, and a lot of times it's in the middle of the night. People come up and will just leave trash and stuff, but they're not the fishermen typically.
Oh, okay.
It's just people coming up to be on the pier.
A lot of tourists out here.
Yeah. But the fishermen, it seems like the fishermen are usually pretty good. I mean, a little bit of line here and there, but like especially the regulars, they're good.
Yeah.
They know.
Well, that's what
try
we
and keep
How
it
come?
nice.
How come our gate is? You still have a gate up there? Wasn't that supposed to go away when COVID went away? There's shark guys and lobster guys. There's night guys that want to fish night, and it's just kind of. Maybe you could talk to
Yeah,
HQ about that, and maybe.
You know what? I haven't really heard exactly when that's going to go away, or what there was talk before about that gate staying up from now on, just because at night, before there was kind of.
Do you have any problem at night with homeless coming
Yes.
out? You do.
Yeah, big time, and that's kind of why they
They'd
were
like
saying.
to camp out here overnight.
Yeah, and a lot of graffiti and stuff in the bathrooms and just damage out here.
Yeah.
And so during COVID, they instituted that, and I've kind of heard that they want to keep it that way, like that, just to kind of control that.
A lot
aspect.
of several different piers in different towns, mainly because of the homeless situation, have done that.
Yeah.
I hate to see it because, like Bill said, if you like the lobster or shark fish, it's a nighttime occupation. But I can understand, you have people out there making it their motel for the night, and graffiti and trash and everything else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that. So it's, it'd be nice if there was a way, somehow have some kind of a security operation who could be up here, leave the pier open, and just have a security person who could be walking the pier at night, working a night shift or something. I mean, I've always wondered if that would be a possibility, just to have somebody out here. But I don't know. We'll see as time goes on what they decide to do with that.
Yeah.
I've been hearing there was going to be a permanent gate there eventually, if they do go ahead with it. And that hasn't happened yet, so I think it's still kind of in the works.
We'll keep our fingers crossed, I guess. Yeah. Well, great. Enjoyed talking to you.
You too.
And keep up the good work,
Thank you.
and we appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. It's my pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Nice to meet you.
There's the ladder they climb down to release the giant sea bass, black sea bass, and to release the great whites. Both of those fish are illegal to keep. So it's nice that they have people out here conservation minded that follow the rules and release those fish. And I know black sea bass or giant sea bass, they're definitely making a comeback. And we know now that great whites, the LA area is actually a birthing area, so there's a lot of great whites around, and they're finding more and more all the time. So it's kind of nice that the anglers here are watching that and doing a good job releasing those. Trying to talk to the experts, and you guys obviously you're getting it set here to catch some big sharks.
Trying to.
What's the biggest shark you've caught out here?
I myself is 8 foot 3.5-inch thresher shark.
Thresher shark. Okay. How about you, Seth? How about you?
Caught the biggest one I caught as far as a thresher goes is it's about 10.5 feet.
About 10.5 feet. Yeah. Okay. Now, do you guys get any? I know you get a lot of bat rays, that kind of thing. Do you see any 7-gill sharks out here?
I caught
There
one once, and the whole time I've ever fished here, I've only caught one, and
Just one?
it was a juvenile, about 3.5 feet.
Oh, okay. How about soup fin? You guys got any soup
Soup
fins?
fins?
Soup fins are the ones we're trying to go for this year. It's the only one I haven't caught.
Oh, okay.
Same here.
Same here.
We've I've caught leopard, shovel nose, baby lemon,
Horn.
Horn. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Pinback,
shark.
horn
Creepy.
shark.
Those are
Horn
creepy.
shark.
Yeah, he's yeah.
I caught
Pinbacks.
one too. Yeah.
Pinback sharks.
Pinback sharks, yeah.
Which yeah, they're almost the same round as a horn.
Yeah. So, how heavy a tackle do you use? What size line?
Trade secret.
It's heavy line though, right?
I mean, realistically, the heaviest you can get, the better.
Yeah.
I
Not
mean-
wire leaders, so just use for this. Oh, okay. So he's setting up some leaders right
Yeah,
here.
so I'm making a leader right now because I just got broke off by one. So
Oh,
it's 400-pound monofilament, and I'm attached it to 600-pound cable.
wow.
You know, the lengths vary, but the idea is the same.
Yeah.
And I mean, half of the reason for that also is because of the black sea bass.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that they sometimes they'll climb down and release the black sea bass. Over
We
here.
do just because we don't want to. If you can keep from having tackle like left in their mouth,
Sure.
I mean, obviously it's going to rust out, but
Right.
that still takes a few days.
Yeah.
And I don't like just knowing that that's what we're doing.
Right.
So
Right.
if at all
No,
possible,
that's a great
yeah,
story.
we'll send somebody down to cut them.
Yeah, that's the only pier I've heard that where they do that. It's pretty neat.
Well, I think it's just better for them altogether.
Now on this shark, what is the normal? What's your main bait? Live mackerel or what's a?
Live or dead mackerel. Mackerel is everything eats mackerel, so mackerel's a universal bait over here.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I've caught them both on live and dead.
Okay. And use any other bait besides mackerel?
No, like I said, that's everything eats mackerel, so typically you do pretty well with that.
We
You
used
can
to-
use other baits though, like I mean, depending on what you catch. If you catch a small skate or something like that, you can use the wings from them as
Right,
well.
right.
Sharks will eat them also,
Right.
but
We-
like I said, mackerel's pretty much it.
Yeah, we used to have a bat ray derby up at Berkeley Pier every year, and catch and release
Yeah.
up to 100 guys, and bat rays seemed like their favorite seemed to be squid. But,
Yeah. Ironically, here though, we catch them off mackerel.
on mackerel.
Yeah, I've seen some really big ones caught on squid, but I've personally caught several over 100-pound size
Yeah.
bat rays that were just on mackerel fillets.
Now you were showing us the big sharks. These are these treble hook gaffs you use.
Mm-hmm.
That's to bring them up from the water
Yeah.
over the pier.
Yeah, yeah. And primarily at night you catch them, or
No,
No, it depends.
all different times?
Yeah.
Well, great. Hope you guys catch some big ones.
Hey guys, this is my friend Jason, and he's the one that knows all about catching the rockfish. He's always out here every day catching all kinds of croakers. Today I think you're going after some calico bass?
Some
or
bass, some halibut, or whatever bites, really. Just out here for a good time.
Any fish is good fish.
Any fish is good fish.
Yeah. So you're a regular? How often do you fish out here?
I try to do at least once or twice a week.
Oh, cool.
Whenever work and the family allows me to. You know?
Yeah. You said you get bass here too.
Yes.
Kelp bass mainly, or sand bass?
Mostly sand bass.
Sand
They like
bass?
to hang under the pier for the
Okay.
structure.
Yeah. Do you fish down by the piling?
Right underneath this pier as far as I can get in the middle.
That's they call me the pier master, or used to call me the pier master. That's what I do, underneath the pier and right around the piling.
Yes, Carolina
You-
rig works best.
Carolina, you with a live bait.
Try to get live bait, whatever's swimming around, trying to match the hatch. But a fresh frozen sardine or anchovy really does the trick as well.
Okay. Do you ever fish down around the pilings with like mussels, fresh mussels, or
Yes,
worms
the
and
perches, the sargos,
Yeah.
the croakers, they love the fresh mussel.
Yeah.
So whenever we can get our hands on the fresh mussel during low tide, that's typically where we're at.
Okay, good. And what's the biggest fish you've caught out here?
Out here, I would say it was probably about an 8 to 9 pound bonita. That's probably
Oh.
the biggest like pelagic species.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, 4 pound sheep's heads or nice 16-inch, 17-inch bass.
I first fished this pier many years ago, 50 plus years ago. Never caught a lot of bonita, and then a couple years ago you had that bonita run going.
yeah.
And I stopped down one morning and got about 30 of them.
I've been fishing Oceanside ever since I was little. My dad actually took us over here, and I remember he used to catch barracuda all the time.
Yes.
Call them logs, come home with sacks, but that kind of died off. And very rarely do you see barracuda here.
In my book, there was an old guy I interviewed one time who said this used to be a two-sack pier, and I said,
Two-sack
"What do you
pier.
mean two-sack pier?" He said they caught so many big log barracuda they can only get about 5 or 6 in a sack. So they'd have to have 2 gunny sacks to carry all the barracuda.
Exactly.
Of course, that was a lot of years ago.
Unfortunately, a lot of the fishermen don't practice, catch and release. So over the years, it's kind of taking its toll. If a lot more people would just do the catch and release and follow the size limits, I think we can bring the pier back to life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hear stories also that they catch a few giant sea bass, black sea bass out here.
Especially in the summertime, you'll see them coming out of the pilings and just chasing your fish every once in a while. So
everybody releases them.
Oh yes, catch and release
they
as
hook
well.
them?
If you hook them, they always do a pretty good at releasing the fish.
Good.
Making sure they swim off strong.
And I also hear that they catch some great whites.
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah.
Occasionally they move in. A lot of threshers. A lot of threshers be pulled in. Anywhere from pups to nice 6-7 feet threshers.
Great. Well, you know the pier.
Yeah.
You know the techniques. It's obvious.
Once or twice a week, trial and error was my best friend when he came to Oceanside Pier.
That's why I always said I visit all the piers in the state, and I have stories on all of them. But you regulars are the ones who really know the piers, and I've stolen a lot of your ideas to put in my book.
That's really good, honestly. Yeah, you just learn from the regulars.
Yeah.
Like I said, trial and error.
Yeah.
You know where the rocks and where the rocks are not at.
Absolutely. Well, good, Jason. Appreciate it. What's your name?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. And
Lou?
who's this gentleman?
This gentleman is
I
Lou.
remember you.
Lou?
I knew you in about 1803, wasn't it?
So this is Lou.
That's
Oop,
Lou.
Where'd he go?
No, don't believe it.
Lou and Rosemary.
That's the pair.
And you come out here every day, probably?
Oh, no, Sundays.
Sundays?
Most Sunday mornings.
You're not going to believe this, but in the first book I wrote, pierfishing.com, or I'm sorry, Pier Fishing in California, I mentioned that up at Newport Pier that there were some elderly people I knew, and every day they were out walking the pier, and then we got their daily exercise out walking the pier like
Yes,
that.
that's a good
What a
idea.
great place to go, you know?
Oh, perfect.
Oh.
It's perfect. Well, we come on Sundays.
On Sunday?
Sunday mornings.
How many
yeah.
years you been doing that?
About 10.
10 years.
Yeah, about 10 years.
Is
Fantastic.
it?
Yeah,
10?
yeah.
Gosh.
Only 10?
And he flew a biplane back there in World War I. He was a fighter.
I didn't believe World War
Well, wait a
I.
minute. Wait a minute. World War One.
It's a slight exaggeration.
Yeah, World War One was a long,
One of them
104
biplanes, you
years
know.
ago, so I don't think.
I did build fighter planes.
Oh, but you did build them,
He
and
did.
you did fly them.
He helped.
No.
He worked for Supermarine, who built the Spitfire, and
Oh.
latterly he worked as an apprentice on the Spitfire. So he belongs to the Spitfire Association because of that.
That's
Yeah,
right,
he's got
it
all
says
this-
so somewhere.
He's got it all. And he
But
built,
in addition to that, I
he
built
his
my own airplane.
He built
and
a
flew
plane.
it.
He built. He
Oh,
and
wow.
his friend built
Wow.
a plane. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's what that says.
Yeah, home built.
a dragonfly home built.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, we're.
Now he flies a drone.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you fly a
It's
drone
all-
now?
Yeah, everybody flies
The
drones
thing
now.
about drones is they're easy. If you crash them, it doesn't matter.
If you lose them, it's expensive.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I've seen some people. They decided they were going to try to use a drone. They hooked their line and a sinker to the drone,
Oh, God.
so they could take it way out
Oh boy.
and drop it. But I don't think it worked.
I don't think it ever came back.
But they tried. They
The
tried.
drone won't pull it back.
No.
Anyway, Lou's done a lot of things in his time.
Great, fantastic.
But not the First World War.
You would be the oldest man in the
Yeah.
world if you had done that.
Almost, yeah.
Methuselah, I
I
guess.
don't think there's any of them left.
Yeah, not as old as Methuselah, but still
I
that
don't
lineage,
think there's
I
many
guess.
left
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Well, good to see you folks.
Thank you.
Rosemary, you have a great day. Yeah, we hope that you watch our pier fishing videos. We have two aims. One aim is to educate people how to be better anglers. And secondly, we hope to entertain you a little bit. Hope you enjoyed these films. Watch the films. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And keep watching.